Here's the first story. Two friends grew up together, childhood buddies, and then they went to high school together, where one of the two friends, we'll give him the name of Bill, was the darling of the class that he was in. Outstanding athlete, well put together as a human being, everything about him, and his sidekick, as is often the case, not quite so well constituted and as much enamored with his friend's abilities as he is himself drawn to wanting to be more than he is because of his relationship with that boy. So now fast forward, they go to different colleges. And then after a period of 4 or 5 years, as the fates would have it, they are gathered for a class reunion of some kind from their high school. And when, we'll give him the name of Sam, walks in and he sees Bill, Bill is not standing there in the middle of everybody. He's not doing anything. He's sitting someplace, and he walks over and he's a little bit surprised because Bill just doesn't quite look like the way Bill used to look like, at least in his eyes. It isn't that his body or his anything like that's changed, but he just has a different aura to him. And Sam says to Bill, "What's going on?" "Nothing." "What do you mean?" "Well, you don't seem to be Bill anymore." "I don't understand what you mean." "Well, I don't know. I mean, you in the high school book, you were the one most likely to succeed. You were voted most this, most that, and you hardly seem like most anything right now sitting here." Ordinarily, people wouldn't say this stuff, but I have to get through the story quickly, okay? You think it, but you don't say it. Let's put it that way. And so he says, "So what are you doing with your life? What's going on? I mean, with all the attributes you had, family, wealth, this, that, and the other, I can't imagine that you aren't, bouncing off the walls." And Sam looks at him and says, "Yeah, I know. But all of those things, they just aren't right for me." "What do you mean, not right for you?" says Sam. He says, "I can't explain it." He said, "But all of those things, they're just not the kind of happiness that I'm looking for." And Sam, having absolutely no idea what Bill's talking about, says, "I don't get it. What else is there, man? The looks, you got the ladies, you got the money, you got the future. What else is there?" And Sam looks at him. He says, "I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll have to find someplace altogether new to look for the happiness I want." Now that man in the story represents a part of you, even if you don't recognize it. You're always looking for what you think will make you happy. Your life is predicated on the pursuit of a series of sensations connected to something that, as you run after it, that you've imagined, will renew your sense of yourself and at last make you feel whole. Now, Bill, in scale, in levels, is the prodigal son, is he not? I'm out in the world. I've got all the things the world can give a young man. And believe me, if I could throw off this curse, I would, but I can't find the happiness that I'm looking for. I've had the approval, I've had the sex, I've had the money, I've had the dancing, had the parties, had the travel, had the family recognition. Now what? So he begins his journey, doesn't he? in a place far, far away in one respect, and yet for his understanding that he has not been able to make himself new, to give him the happiness that his heart of hearts longs for, he sits in a place that we've described as a low place. And we've described that it's only in that low place where the prodigal son finds herself, that they are momentarily connected to another kind of understanding that cannot and never says, this is what you should do. But rather, it says, this is what you can no longer do. This is what you cannot be anymore. And why? Because everything has led me here to this point. And he's a lucky young man. Some people have to wait until they're